I am about to do my first interview for Prescription for Life with my good friend JR, who used to coach with me at a local gym and is now doing private lessons in the area and for several CrossFit gyms. So come on. Hey.
Hi.
Hey guys, I am with JR and we are at Bars and Burn Fitness.
Yes.
JR and I met as gymnastics coaches.
Yes.
What exactly is it about maybe coaching in general and then gymnastics in particular that keeps pulling you back in?
I like the connection that you make with athletes.
Okay.
I think it's really different in what I do now because I work mostly with adults, doing CrossFit and personal training, and for me it's just the relationships in general. I really like seeing somebody work toward a goal and working with them on how it feels to accomplish and to also fail, and helping to build those ways of dealing with those issues, because it's not always easy to always win or always, like be struggling. So I like really helping them get through that.
Okay, I love that. So, I mean, that just pulls us right back into Prescription for Life, because all of the programming is about empowering the people that we come in contact with the ability to choose their highest self. Doesn't matter if you're a gymnast, a coach, a parent, a mentor, that's what it's about, choosing your highest self.
Right.
So you recently did our superhero check-in. How was it to do? What did you think about it?
It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. It took me a lot longer to process the questions, and I think I was over internalizing what you wanted from me. So I think I went in with an expectation versus just with my gut feeling, which turned out to be what you wanted me to do. It forced me to really think. There were times where I'd sit there and I almost thought I had an answer, and then I had to stop. I had to kind of step away. And some of the questions took me like 15 or 20 minutes to even write anything down.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially whenever I had to write the 5 or 6 characteristics, that made me think, because I feel like I have a lot to give and a lot that I would want to include. But when it came down to it, I felt like they were characteristics that I was imposing on myself versus the reality of who I really am. And that made me think also, I was like, well, maybe I'm not really being the true ultimate version of who I could be. Because I also looked at it as like, okay, this is what I would want myself to be, but I also felt like people that if I asked them to define 5 or 6 characteristics, they wouldn't necessarily have put them. So I kind of went with not only what I really felt strongly that I did actually have as characteristics, what I wanted, but also what I felt like people would see in me. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So I was obviously a little over internalizing it, but it did give me pause and made me think.
Yeah, okay, so first off, there is really no wrong way to do this check-in, and that's what is amazing about it. So it was cool to get kind of a professional to do this and see what they came up with. And of course, because you do have that kind of background, it was a little bit more specific and less playful. But I love that your gut feeling was to make it more of a conversation with yourself, because that's what we're aiming for.
Okay. When you asked me for a name, I actually was going for what that character, like the highest characteristic represented in like the ultimate form. Yes. And my word that I chose was support. And so ultimate support for me is from a parent figure. So me specifically, because I'm a male, would be father. Yes. So I named him father.
Okay, so what would you actually name this supportive father?
For the sake of following those rules, I would look at my father. His name is Jack, so I would name him Jack, because I feel like that's an ultimate goal for me to achieve, the kind of father that he was. Wow.
So if you were to give somebody a review of this check-in and like what you actually took away from it, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that it's really important that you find the characteristics that you want to embody. I feel like for someone to be able to write it down and even have those words on your refrigerator or on your mirror every day, because we get lost in, everyday kind of money issues, family relationships, your your love life, that we lose focus sometimes of what those are and what we want to embody and what we want other people to see in us. So I think to be able to truly identify what those are and then be honest with yourself, which, if any of these, do I already embody, or what I'm far away from, and how can I get to that? So it really is just a great way to identify the path you want to take, and really the mark you want to make.
Wow. I love that. So then, even taking that a step further, I feel like there's a lot of inspirational videos, motivational speakers, whatever, and I kind of wanted this to be like your how-to.
Okay.
Is that something you took from this?
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then, continuing with that conversation, how would you now take this check-in and apply it to your life?
You know, I work with adults who, especially in the realm of CrossFit, who are really struggling with believing in their ability, taking it to the next step. So, you know, for them, for the athletes to identify what are my strengths and weaknesses. You can be specific, like the characteristics that, you know, you had in the check-in were about your overall embodiment, but you also can be specific with something that you're doing.
Right.
Okay, what are my strengths with this specific, whether it's gymnastics or CrossFit or weightlifting, and what do I ultimately want to get to? So that's a really great way for them to, and I encourage all my athletes to have a workout log. So I have like a diary every day when I work out. There's spaces for me to put, you know, what do I want to get out of today's workout?
Perfect.
What are my expectations? And when I'm coaching, I also give expectations. Okay, today I want you to really focus on, you know, having a tight core, tucking your hips under. You know, a lot of that is for safety issues, but it's also that's how we improve, by having good technique, which is also directly related to gymnastics. You know, the smallest cue can make the huge difference in a lift or a skill that you're learning. So I think that, you know, for them to even have those characteristics or those cue words for them to see in their log every day could be really powerful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to leave people with as far as what you took away from this exercise?
Well, I think that you have to be honest with yourself. There were things I wanted to put on my characteristic list that when I thought about it, I didn't think that was my true self. And it was almost kind of heartbreaking, because I want people, ultimately at the end of my life, I would like former athletes, friends, to be able to say, he was this, 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 and this. But I can't put those down now because I felt like I'm not there yet. But it's an ultimate goal. So in the back of my head, I have, you know, these are things that I have to strive for, but they're not there yet. So I didn't feel comfortable. But it was me being honest with myself and acknowledging that I have a lot more to grow. You know, I'm 44 years old. I have to think. And I realized at 44, I'm just now getting a grasp on how to control so much of myself. You know, with health and fitness, it took me 40 years to really be able to understand how my physical makeup you know, works with certain foods and exercises. And you know, when you're going through many years of wanting to look a specific way for not the right reasons, you internalize and you put importance on things that don't matter. And so it all kind of came together when I was 40. It's like, okay, I get that, and now I also get why it was important, because once you get to that point, nothing's changed internally. Okay, it wasn't as important as I thought it was to have a six-pack. It wasn't. That's not making me happy. Like, what is it that really, what is really the issue? And so it's just like an ongoing thing. So for me, and I encourage everybody else to, you know, every couple of years, you know, sit and think, okay, is this where I thought I would be at this age? What do I still have to accomplish? What do I want to do? And then make it happen. Like, but you have to be honest with yourself. That's really where you're at, because I feel like a lot of times people feel like they deserve more at that moment than they've worked towards. Or even ready to handle.
Wow. How often would you use something like this then to check in on that journey?
Well, I think at the smallest level you could do like every 90 days. Like quarterly, can be a really great, because you have to continue to, like in gymnastics, we go back to basics. We can do basics every so often, and it's important that you don't lose that that sense of the base skills that you really need. So being able to be honest with yourself, see how you failed, write down like, okay, this is how I failed my friends. My goal was to be a more supportive, non-judgmental person. I have not been doing that the last 3 months. Like jealousy or whatever, all these feelings that we have as humans that we can't always control, and put them in check, because if you're not going back and checking those on a regular basis, then how are you able to get past that? We're so used to falling back into our old habits, and if we're not really aware, and this is something that I'm finding, like just as a lifter or someone who's like trying to improve my Olympic lifts, if I don't go back and retest, so to speak, pretty often, I really lose the base skills, and I can't grow that way.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, last thing I want to leave you with. This week's intention for the week was fire. So what is something you can pay attention to this week that's going to fan the flames of your highest self?
I think for me, acceptance of where I'm actually at in my ability, and acknowledging that, and then not being afraid to take risks. Past that. Do it in a smart way, and that it doesn't matter if you're going for a new job or you're trying to learn a new skill. Being safe about it and making good decisions, but not being afraid to take the leap into something that can be scary.
I feel like we've been conditioned with this idea that like it's like a leap of faith. Like what I've been or finding myself saying is like it's a leap of trust
and ability. It is. It really is. You got to believe that you have the ability to be successful. And you don't go into that lightly or stupidly, you know, and that's why we have friends. It's like, Zoya, am I being stupid? Do you think I can do this? And it helps sometimes, like I feel like sometimes we feel like maybe we can do more than we actually can. But I think more often than not, we don't believe that we can do more than we're doing.
That was it. Thank you, JR.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much for doing the check-in and then coming to share with us.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.